lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams.
From the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, the SCL Weekly Street Stock Series is greased up and ready to go in the Hoosier State. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Brownsburg, Indiana, where this may not be the Brickyard, but tonight it's where the foundations are laid in the careers of these incredible drivers. Last week at Hickory, Chris Myers dominated the field with his performance in North Carolina. He led 25 laps throughout the 5 cautions and managed to keep the rest of the field in check thanks to his masterful driving exhibition. Now tonight, as the green flag flies, our attention turns to those other drivers who are winless this season. Will a new face appear in victory lane, or will another dominating display capture our attention? I'm Dave Regal alongside my partner in crime, Mr. Sam Hasketh, here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth, and we'd like to thank you for making SRM a part of your evening, because we'll be with you every step of the way, from the green flag to the checkered flag, right here on Sim Racing Media. And Sam, drivers getting in their cars as we speak right now, and tonight we're going to quick run through the starting lineup, if we may. I'm glad to be with you again, sir.
Oh yeah, for sure. Starting off, first we got Chad Jones, number 75. Second, we got number 58, Adam Lowe. Number 7, Justin Lewis, starting in third. The number 92, Barrett Flo, starting in fourth. Starting in fifth is Brendan Cornier. And then in sixth, number 750, Johnny Wood Jr. Number 39 and seventh, Derek Wegman. The 03 of Kyle Campbell, sitting in eighth. Ninth is Matt Mingo in the 12. Then 10th, we have Carson Quapple in the number 21. Kind of a surprise here tonight. Number 24, we have Chris Myers, sitting in 11th. Ollie Marston, the number 3, sitting in 12th. Tillman Hewer, the number 11, sitting in 13th. Greg Bursch in the number 51 and 14th. Jason Crumley, sitting in 15th, number 83. Carlos Steele, number 351, sitting in 16th. And then 17th, number 866, John Brancaccio.
And it looks like Carlos Steele and John Brancaccio did not even lay qualifying times down tonight, so I'm curious to see if we're going to see them take the green flag tonight as we take a look up here at Chad Jones. Folks, we want to let everybody know that, this is kind of an interesting raceway, or an interesting racetrack, that is. We don't get a whole lot of action here at IRP on the regular NASCAR series in the top 3 divisions, but in the street stocks and of course the super late models and the late models, this place is a staple in that action. As we look at Chad Jones and Adam Lowe taking us out here on the race surface. Justin Lewis receiving an EOL. He's going to be dropping back here in line to the end of the longest lines. It looks like Carlos Steele and John Brancaccio not going to be taking the green flag at all tonight.
That's really a shame.
30 scheduled laps tonight. The iRacing.com pace car lights are out, which, of course, I say that, and hey, you never know. We've run into it before where we thought we were going to run and we weren't, so we're going to keep a close eye on the iRacing.com pace car. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm glad to have my voice back, as last week was, well, that was rougher than 60 grit sandpaper. As Chad Jones and Adam Lowe follow the iRacing.com pace car through turns 3 and 4, waiting to see if we're going to see it make that
pace car
hard left turn, as looks like we're going to have one more lap of pace.
Yeah, until you see the pace car dive down into the pits, that's that's when we're about to go green in a few seconds. But it didn't this time, but I do believe on this lap here, we will see green.
This should be the one as the iRacing.com pace car rolls us out of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. We're going to let our call to green take
Pace
over.
car starting to pick up a little bit of pace as they come out of turn number 4. Pace car's getting ready to peel it on off. It's going to make that hard left turn down pit road as we get ready to turn them loose. Field thing is left to say it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Race fans, it's showtime!
And as the green flag flies, it looks like Chad Jones going to be drifting maybe a little tight up toward the 58 of Adam Lowe here on lap number 1 as they haul it down the backstretch. A good green flag start to the beginning. Oh, I say that as the 12 of Matt Mingo goes sideways.
There goes
We
Mingo.
stay green.
You know, I saw somebody slam into the outside wall there coming out of 2.
That would have been Matt Mingo. We're going to take a quick look back at it. Looks like a little bit of contact between the 39 and the 12. He holds it steady. And then he just taps the rear end of the 21 of Carson Quapple. And he just goes drifting down toward the bottom of the racetrack. But we stay green here on lap number 3.
So far, it looks like the top 4 are like fighting really close together right now still. 75 and the 58 are like still going side by side at it here.
16. Oh, there goes the 75 for a ride.
Slams into the inside wall there.
And that will bring out our initial caution of the evening. Let's take a run back and see what happened with Chad Jones. As we pull up that replay, Chad Jones working the underside of Adam Lowe, looking to see what looks like he just drifted up the racetrack and tightened himself.
Honestly, from what I see, it looks like he did get loose and was trying to like catch it and not run into anybody else, run them over.
Taking another look at this. Now that I am back in prime form, we can at least, you know, here's the thing. And last week, folks, I do have to apologize for what I will deem as just all but horrific performance. As, you know, I was not feeling well, but could not negate my my duties here in the booth, as we're going to see one more time Chad Jones drifting into the wall. As that just gives him a little wrinkle-dinkle there on the hood. You know, just feeling so much better and glad to be back here with all of you as we are going to finish out this season on a high note. Adam Lowe, single file behind the iRacing.com pace cars. We get ready to go back double file.
You know, Dave, something that I'm doing right now because I realized that I messed up on is I did not load trading paints in, so I can't see anybody's paint schemes. So that's why I've been kind of quiet. So I'm like trying to get it to hurry up and download everybody's paints in.
Well, right now,
So I only
Adam
see their
Lowe
numbers.
with that City Chevrolet paint scheme. I'll tell you what, every time I see that, you know, it just harkens back to the movie Days of Thunder, and what a great movie and what great, you know, exposure that we got in NASCAR at that time in our history, you know, in this sport, especially as the sport was just getting ready to ramp up into the 90s and basically the heyday of NASCAR, at least in my lifetime.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, I got everybody's paint schemes up now. Finally.
Attaboy.
little goof from me on that part, but I
back.
see what you mean now. I see what you mean now.
As the iRacing.com pace car makes the hard left turn down pit road, Adam Lowe going to have control of the field here on lap number 4, as he's almost going to be pushed along by Brendan Cornier, who's just about linked up with him bumper to bumper. They come out of turn 4 into the Geico restart zone. He hits the loud pedal, and we're back green flag racing.
Adam Lowe leading him into turn 1. Number 92 of Barrett Flo, just right behind him on the outside there. We're going 3 wide coming out of turn 2 here. They made it work just a little bit. I know the number 92 kind of snuck through. No, nothing crazy. No contact. No nothing too much happening tonight.
Watching Carson Kvapil here in the 21 Bass Pros tracker machine as he has now climbed himself into second position, up 8 spots from where he had qualified back in 10th, as he's starting to get ready to work over Adam Lowe. It's been interesting to watch him climb through this field as he gets ready, maybe a little loose. Whoa, coming out of turn 4 as he gets ready to make the attack here in turn 1.
You know, Carson's getting loose and all, but I trust his driving. I feel like he's doing this on purpose, trying to really set himself up. Because once he gets in front with these street stocks, you can easily keep your position if you know what you're doing as far as defending goes. So I feel like he's trying to jump ahead early and then just defend off whoever's trying to attack after that. Here we got Barrett Flo here, really just trying to survive against Carson Kvapil. These two are duking it out lap after lap here, turn after turn. Kvapil dives down, Barrett Flo just kind of like minding his business, running the top side, just trying to keep it clean, have a smooth run coming out of these turns. And we got Campbell in the back just waiting. He's kind of waiting, kind of defending as well. He's going to set up himself just in case something happens, whether he has an opening or whether these two in the front crash each other out. He can just slide through here. He is right on the back of Barrett Flo.
Kvapil, the 20-year-old out of Mooresville, North Carolina, making his appearance here in the SCL Weekly Street Stock Series on Sim Racing Media, as he is the 2021 Cars Super Late Model Tour champion. Of course, also the 2023 Late Model Stock champion. So obviously has spent a lot of time in the real cockpit here in this series. Oh, as all of a sudden the 92 goes sliding up into the wall. That's Barrett Flo, which clears the way now for Carson Kvapil to work on Adam Lowe without too much more to go here. With 20 laps to go, we're going to watch the 03 of Kyle Campbell and that Flex Seal machine start to try to maybe make some moves here on Kvapil, but right now the door is open for Brendan Cornier to work underneath him.
Yeah, like I was saying, he was setting himself up to be in position if someone made a mistake, and you see Barrett Flo kind of just made that slight mistake tapping the outside wall, and that allowed Campbell to slide right in third place smoothly without any issues. And now he's just going to be defending and chasing at the same time here at IRP.
Brendan Cornier side by side with the 24 of Chris Myers, but not that Chris Myers as they haul it off here into turn 1. Looks like he's not going to be able to make the pass just yet as he's looking for an open door. Myers able to hold him off. Yeah, Myers able to hold him off for the time being, but looks like Brendan Cornier thinks he's got the stronger machine as they roll out of 4, crossing the start-finish line with 17 to go. Cornier just giving the 24 fits as we're going to go right here inside the cockpit, if you will. If I can get that nose cam up here. And we can see him just looking for an opening, and he can't get that run on the 24.
And Campbell and Kvapil are really going at it for second place right now. These two diving into turn 1. They're getting really loose. Kyle Campbell, he's really trying to get in second. He wants second place, and when he gets in second, I really don't think he's going to let it go that easy. As Chris Myers is like running on the outside of Campbell right now, and slotting back in there, waiting for his next opening, see if he can make a move to take that spot away from Kyle Campbell.
Kyle Campbell getting ready to do battle on 2 fronts, and that's never good for a driver. You know, you don't want to be trying to fight a war at 2 ends of the spectrum here. But Kyle Campbell, first off, trying to steal second position away from Carson Kvapil. Meanwhile, he's trying to hold off Chris Myers. He's almost got to decide which does he want to do, and he does wrestle away P2 from Carson Kvapil, and he's going to bring along Chris Myers in tow, almost using Kvapil as a pick and shoving him to the outside.
So Chris Myers and Carson Kvapil there was literally side by side, like right on each other going into turn 2 and coming out turn 3. So we see, yeah, they're just really trying to see what positions they can take. Chris Myers just got slammed into by, I think, Justin Lewis back there in the number 7. I'm looking back here.
Looking here above from the blimp cam, everybody's thinking about single file, and then all of a sudden, down comes the 55 of Brendan Cornier, who suddenly gets loose. He's going to have to gather that machine back up, maybe take a minute for a deep breath here, and step back into line. As nearly across his nose goes Barrett Flo, who's chasing down Chris Myers. Things starting to heat up now with 12 to go in this competition. Now 11 as we cross the start-finish line.
You know, one thing I like about IRP is that if you make just the littlest mistakes, this track will punish you greatly. And it's really up to the driver if they can make their way back up, and that's something that Barrett Flo is doing right now. He's all the way back up in 6 from almost basically last place here with 10 laps left.
10 laps to go. Justin Lewis trying desperately to work underneath Carson Kvapil, who has the high line here, and he's got that speed and momentum. It's a matter of being able to sling it down in front of the 7 of Justin Lewis. If he can get use of the entire racetrack, he can really make that 21 sing. But right now, he's desperately trying. There he goes. He should be able to have that momentum now as we see him drift down in front of Lewis. Now we're going to see him drift up. This will put some real estate between these two drivers as he does. So you can go from singing to sanging.
Yeah, I'm watching right now as Chris Myers just kind of gives a few taps on the rear of the 21 at Carson Kvapil. Oh, and he spins Justin Lewis. He slides down and collects Justin Lewis and just spins him out here. As Justin Lewis slams into the inside wall.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at this replay now, as we'll see what happened here as it unfolded right in front of our eyes. As we see, just a little bit of a flicker, if you will, was enough to send him spinning.
So what I'm looking at right now from my angle is that they both actually got loose and literally got loose and drifted into each other. So I would say this is more of a racing incident from both of the drivers rather than one. I wouldn't put a blame on anybody here.
Justin Lewis here back in 13th position. That's going to take him out of contention now, as that's going to make Adam Lowe still the Pied Piper of IRP, followed by Kyle Campbell and Carson Kvapil. Chris Myers and Barrett Flo, your top 5 with 9 laps to go.
So something that Campbell could do here in these closing laps is, honestly, he could fake dive into the corners unless Adam does take the low line and kind of put pressure on Adam and cause him to maybe make some kind of mistake and then sneak in and pass him on the front stretch or the back stretch, depending on what he does. That's something that I've done in these street stocks before at this track.
Absolutely. And taking a look at our race conditions, 75 degrees the track temperature here on the right side of your screen, folks. So there's plenty of grip in there. But, you know, here's the thing. The asphalt may have grip in it, but these tires now, you know, with 22 laps on them, they're going to be losing some of that grip. So, you know, they're about midway through what would be a normal tire run. So, you know, getting back here on the green flag going to be quite an interesting feat, if you will.
Indeed, as we see, I think something is going on with the lineup here again as last week. So I'm looking at the live timing and looks like they're really just trying to get iRacing in order here. I think they got it.
iRacing.com pace car down off of pit road. Green flag in the air. We are back racing. As we haul it here into turn 1, we're going to watch them come through too. It's going to be an interesting race all the way through this field as these drivers not going to be giving up any kind of real estate in the closing laps with 8 to go.
Oh, absolutely not. And as we see Kyle Campbell here already making that dive on Adam Lowe, or at least trying to. He's looking towards the inside. If he makes a move, it's definitely going to be an inside move. Carson Quapple also looking here too on the outside of Matt Campbell, or Kyle Campbell, sorry.
Well, that outside lane going to be more stable than trying to haul it through, but that opens the door all of a sudden as Campbell rubs the wall for Kvapel to haul it down underneath him. He's going to try to use some more of this racetrack as, he tangles the 24 of Chris Myers. Myers shuffling Kvapel back.
Yeah, they decided to go ahead and throw a caution. I don't know if that was for that little incident or if there was something else in the back.
Well, I see something here with Justin Lewis. So we're going to take a look. Once again here, Justin Lewis working just underneath Greg Birch in the 51 Ho 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 machine. Oh, and Lewis and Birch making contact coming out of 4, and almost identical to his original wreck, brings Lewis to a rest here right at the start-finish line.
Trying to see here. Looks like Chris Myers is starting in front of Quapple, or restarting in front of Quapple, so I'm curious to see what Quapple's gonna do here on this next restart. I'm also wanting to know how Adam is going to defend himself against Campbell here.
I mean, I can tell you what I would do if I was the 21 right here. And, there's a darn good reason why I sit here in the broadcast booth and not back on the racetrack, as I retired earlier this season back in July. And, if I was the 21, this would be full send time.
Honestly, don't blame you. I probably would do the same thing too. I would honestly go for a dive.
Yeah, the issue that I ran into back during my driving career was, lack of patience and control, and those two things when you mix them together, it's kind of like peroxide and baking soda. It just foams everywhere and makes a mess.
I know when I was racing with these guys back on the PS4, that was one of the things that they were trying to teach me, is how to be patient on restarts, and mainly starts too, because I would always just absolutely full send every time, no break in the turn 1 type of thing, and it would just cause the biggest crashes you've ever seen. And they they really worked to be there to try to get me to calm down over the years.
Absolutely. This racetrack, just kind of a really cool place to be overall. It's kind of nestled into what would be the road course at IRP, but of course, the road course basically retired in real life. So it looks like when we go back green flag racing, it's going to be Adam Lowe, Kyle Campbell, Chris Myers, Carson Kvapel, and Barrett Flo, as Johnny Wood currently being scored in first place, but that'll correct itself momentarily.
They're coming around this last turn. Waiting for the green. Here comes the green. The guy can restart zone. I'm low in front. There goes the dive that I was talking about that Kyle Campbell's doing. He's side by side with Adam Lowe right now. There's Carson Quapple and Chris Myers as well. Wasn't able to get that move done. As we see.
Oh, the battle for the
Campbell's
lead just
sliding.
turned dangerous.
Everybody sliding. 92 just spun out completely, slams into the outside wall. Turn 3.
The 92 being spun around like a top.
I think he spun by himself there. I think he got spooked by Adam Lowe getting loose and just spun.
Well, and of course, when you see the leaders start to wreck, that can always be dangerous. Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look here.
I'm going to run that back here, folks. And here's the thing: we can sit here and we can armchair quarterback this all day long, but let's get right in here on the nose of the 03 of Kyle Campbell, and we'll see just what happened as he makes contact with the 58. And here starts the spin, right there.
There was a lot of contact after that initial little contact with the leaders, and it literally was like a domino effect almost throughout the field.
So that's going to cycle some things around here. It's going to put Adam Lowe back atop the pile, followed by Kyle Campbell, Chris Myers, and Carson Kvapil. It's going to shuffle some things here. Brendan Cornier all the way back in 11th position. Barrett Flo in the 92 after being kicked around kind of like a loose football in the end zone. Back in 9th position. Greg Birch in the 51 running in 8th position. We're just kind of running backwards here. Justin Lewis just ahead of him as everything going to recycle here.
I got to give it to the leaders there for losing control and still not crashing into anything. Like that's literally, they drove those cars right there really well to not hit anything at all.
And that's
Like,
why
that was
they're the
impressive.
leaders.
That was genuinely impressive. Pace cars dive down, waiting for that Gaica restart zone. Coming up here, led by Adam Lowe in front, Kyle Campbell in third or second, and Chris Myers in third. And we're green. Watching Kyle Campbell here, see what he's gonna do. He's gonna wait. He's gonna wait right behind Adam Lowe. We'll look at Carson Kvapil here on Chris Myers. These two are still side by side again. Carson Kvapil is like really diving down the inside. We got a caution. Somebody's crashed. Greg Birch crashed. I'm trying to see here what happened.
Watch the 51 Santa Claus machine here just in front of the 92 of Barrett Flo. And I'm afraid we're going to see some contact here. As, he just gets hooked. In fact, we'll run this back once more and see if we can maybe get a better angle here from our chopper cam. As we
Looks like
get
the
right here.
Guys in the back.
It was almost a combination between net code and a little bit of aero push as he was sucked into the 92. Race control
that's what I'm
calling it
seeing
on the
here.
92. But, and we talked about it briefly last week. We get a chance to talk about it here again tonight. Race control, probably the only thankless job in all of iRacing.
Oh yeah, it really is. Pace cars dive down into the pits, coming around turns 3 and 4 here, coming back to the front stretch, led by Adam Lowe.
As we're going to have a single file
here.
restart, almost like an accordion, all the way back through 5th position. As we are back green flag racing, 3 laps to go now. Carson Kvapil looking to try to get the edge here on Chris Myers, but not that Chris Myers. As we haul it out of turn number 2, down the backstretch, Myers going to be chasing down Kyle Campbell.
Myers making that outside move here on Kyle.
I don't know if I'd advise that, as here goes the leaders again.
The leaders have spun. Both leaders have spun out here.
That's going to time, as the caution flag flies, that's going to time Kvapil in the lead, with Tillman Hewer maybe being scored P2. As we're all going to have to take one big deep breath. That was ugly.
Exactly what Kvapil wanted to happen too. He wanted this to happen. He needed this to happen. So this is.
And it's going to be a
up
quick
there.
caution too, as we're going to be 1 to green at the line. Oh. Oh my. And Kvapil just being able to drive through there and stay out of trouble. Going to be scored our leader. with what will be 2 to go when we pass the green flag.
It's going to be a very interesting last 2 laps here at IRP. I'm really looking forward to this.
Of course, the session getting ready to come to a possible end here if they're not careful. So, obviously, they want to try to get this taken care of in short order, as the session has about 5 minutes left in it with 3 to go. That means that they're going to kill the lights on the pace car and get ready to go back green flag racing this time by.
There could be a very shock ending here, because if Quapple and Myers get together, anyone from third back could just sneak right through and take the win after sitting back in the top 5 and below this entire race. Just being patient with these leaders here. Pace cars dived in, green flag. Chris Myers starting it off. Chris Myers running away with it, or trying to, as Carson Quapple is definitely going to dive down into turn 1, making that pass cleanly into turn 2 as he kind of slides up here, coming out of turn 2. Chris Myers getting right up into Quapple here. They
are wheel to wheel.
The wall.
The hammer and tongs are out, as the great Tony Trapasso would say, as that shoots Quapple onto the inside. 2 laps to go. The popsicle sticks going down, and we are racing back to checkers here with the white flag in the air. Carson Kvapel, your race leader, followed by Tillman Hewer and Chris Myers, as Myers still trying to gather up the 24. That opens the door for Justin Lewis as we head down the back chute. Once more, Carson Kvapel, plenty of real estate, as it's going to be a 3-way battle for 2nd and 3rd position. The checkered flag in the air. All Kvapel has to do is get out of turn number 4. He crosses the start-finish line, and Carson Kvapel wins here at IRP, followed by Tillman Hewer and Justin Lewis.
That was solid racing there at the end from Quapple, just trying to keep his nose clean here. We got Tillman Hewer trying to sneak through if anything happened. He lined himself up perfectly, just waiting for anything to happen.
Is that top 3 going to come here to the start-finish line here in race number 1 of our evening, as Carson Kvapel captures the checkered flag right here. He's going to be joined on the start-finish line for their traditional photograph by Tillman Hewer and Justin Lewis. We're not going to have a chance here with such limited time left to... where'd they go? Is Kvapel already out of the cockpit? They quick smiled for the camera and ran, as Justin Lewis going to be the last one to haul it down here to the start-finish line. We're going to take one quick look here at our final results of this race. If I can get those results up here. Carson Kvapel brings home the checkered flag. He's joined on the podium by Tillman Hewer and Justin Lewis. Chris Myers finishes in 4th with Derek Wegman rounding out your top 5. Barrett Flo finishes in 6th position, followed by Brendan Cornier and Chad Jones in 7th and 8th. Adam Lowe and Jason Crumley round out your top 10, followed by Greg Birch, Kyle Campbell, Johnny Wood Jr., Matt Mingo, and Ollie Marston, the 15 drivers who took the green flag and made it to the checkered flag before this session ended. We'll be back in just a little bit here, as we will be waiting for the green flag to fly in, of course, the late model series coming up right here on Sim Racing Media tonight here on Tuesday night's SCL action.